Look, Carrie3570 did a video about WROL Reality. Um, Technically, there's always going to be some type of law, even if it's a gangster's law. But anyway, there's a shit hits the fan situation, and the basic systems are breaking down, and there's no police that's reliable to protect you, and people are basically panicking, and a lot of people aren't prepared, and some friends and family go to your house. Uh, what should you do? How do you turn these people away? How do you handle that? First of all, you have to be practical. Do you have enough resources to feed all these people for a long period of time? Do you have guns for all of these people? Do you want to give these people guns? Because if they didn't have the good sense to prepare uh, for an emergency in the first place, why in the hell would you want to arm them? I mean, why would you even want to trust them? And why would you want them to get a vote? She asks, well, should they have a say in things? Well, no. I mean, if they didn't even bother to prepare, why would you listen to them now? I mean, but of course, they're going to want to have a say in things, even though they didn't really know what they were doing from the beginning. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but at least I'm trying. I don't have a great income, and I'm trying my best. I can't. I got to worry about myself. How am I going to be able to feed other people? There's two things you can really do: feed them and sacrifice the food and resources for your own kids. Two, you could send them away, but that'll be pretty interesting in trying to get rid of them. Essentially, they become a threat. If they don't protect their own family by getting the guns and the food and water, just in case there's any type of emergency, natural or man-made. I don't care if it's a nuclear detonation, nuclear attack somewhere or anywhere, dollar collapse, whatever. Of course, these are extreme scenarios, so they're hypothetical. I'm not saying they're definitely going to happen. Well, I think the dollar is definitely toast, but that's just inevitable. But the type of extreme scenario I'm talking about is a system breakdown where the water and electricity and the police and the fire, they're not really reliable. So in that type of situation, these people become a threat. I mean, you don't want to hear this. I'm sure you don't want to hear this, Carrie, but they're going to expect resources. And are you willing to compromise your own kids' safety? Are you willing to compromise your own kids' food supply for these people? They may be your brother, your sister, your friends, or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, if they're running to your house with no resources, it means that while you were preparing, while poor people like me were preparing, they were buying iPhones. And I have nothing against iPhone. It's probably a great phone, but if you don't have the basics for survival, or at least attempt to, it doesn't make any sense to have an iPhone. It doesn't make any sense to get a PlayStation 3. I make sure I had a gun. Yeah, I had guns before I even went in this direction. So I had nothing against the TVs and the PlayStation 3s and the iPods and all that, but you got to use common sense. And if these people didn't use common sense, they're going to know where you live, and they're going to go after your resources. First, they're going to ask, and then they're going to demand, and then they're going to try to take it. That's the way it's going to be. Okay, so the third option is to not be there at all. And this is when the whole bug out situation comes into play. Some people say you want to be at your bug out location. Well, the thing is, who knows where this location's at? Because if your entire family knows where this location's at, then what good is this location? Unless you have a whole lot of resources to feed a lot of people, a lot of housing or whatever. Most people aren't really in that position. Some people may even go as far as to pretend like they're not preparing and secretly prepare so they don't have to worry about that exact problem that you're talking about. Not that I'm telling you to be deceptive, but that's one strategy that some people are going to work with. Some people are putting together care packages, but again, how many care packages can you put together, and how many resources do you really have? Maybe that would be an option for you. Or your best defense is really to talk more people into preparing. That's going to have to be your best defense if you've already shown your cards. Otherwise, you're going to be in big trouble unless you move to another location or you have a secondary bug out location or whatever. But then there's the issue: how do you get to that location safely? So anyway, that's my response, Carrie. I hope I answered the question fully enough. You might want to have a secondary location. I mean, it sounds really harsh, sounds really cold, but unless you have Bruce Wayne's budget, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to feed and arm everybody who shows up at your house. It's not going to happen. You're going to need a tremendous amount of resources to try to play this this Jericho style response to it. So, good luck. All right, maybe I'm wrong, guys. You tell me in the chat room. You tell me in the comment section. I definitely want to hear it from you guys.